Welcome to Scraffito Surface Designs 101. Let's go over our tool list. We are going to be demonstrating today on a piece of leather hard clay. This is a flower frog. We're going to be sgraffitoing with a tool that I invented, which is an X-Acto knife taped to a paintbrush, a black and white pencil, some paintbrushes, white slip, and water. Let's get started. First, we are going to take our white pencil and we are going to mark around where we want our white slip to go. So I am going to leave a nice border on the edges. I like this color of the clay. And then I am just going to go all the way around where I want my slip to go. Wonderful. Now I'm going to come in with a paintbrush and fill that section in. So I'm going to get my paintbrush wet with some water. And then I'm going to just stir it in the white slip. And you can see I've got slip, and now I can start painting. So I'm going to start with the outline, and I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm just going to keep doing that until I have the whole surface all outlined. If you run out of slip, just add more. And once you've done that, you are going to want to fill in all of this. And you're going to want to put 2 or 3 layers onto it. So really get it so that you can't see. See how we can see our clay through it? We do not want that. Now that we've got 2 to 3 layers on here, we are going to let it dry. Make sure that you don't use the paintbrush that's attached to our Scraffito tool. We're going to use that for a different thing later. Now that we've waited a while, I'm going to test this. You can see that this is now dry. We're going to take our black pencil and we are going to draw. You can draw pretty much anything. I'm going to be drawing a nice bird and then some flowers. There. Now if you have a hard time freehanding any drawings, you can always use a piece of tracing paper, trace over your drawing, and then line it up with where you want it to go. And you can always trace over that, take it off, and then trace over. I'm going to add a few more flowers to this, and then we'll start Scraffito. Now, when you're drawing with your black pencil, you have to make sure not to press too hard, or you'll risk going through and making marks that you don't want. Now that we're done with our drawing, we're going to put our pencil aside, and we are going to grab our handy-dandy Scraffito tool. So you're going to take this side, the blade side of your Scraffito tool. You're going to come down here, and you are going to start very gently just pushing in. Now, here comes the part with the paintbrush. If you take your paintbrush, you can wipe away all of the little nasties that come off of your Scraffito drawing. So now we're just going to go through and we're going to do all of these lines. This can take a while. So you're just going to want to go through very gently, make sure not to press down too hard. And once you're done with the line, make sure that you just wipe off all of those little nasties. If you find that your nasties are getting stuck, you can always go over a line again to get rid of them. Do your whole drawing just like that. If you want thicker lines, you can always experiment with a different type of tool. You don't have to stick to an X-Acto knife. Or you can try thinner lines by rotating the brush. See, if I go right along the very thin edge, I get a very thin line. Whereas if I go along the flat edge, I get a very flat line. Also, if you make a mistake, so let's say I don't want that there, you can always take your paintbrush, dip it in a little bit of white slip, and just fill that line right back in, and once it's dry, it'll be good as new, and you can just keep going. And you don't have to stick to these lines either. You can always go off on your own, start doing some other things, and if you make a line that you don't necessarily want, and you don't want to erase it, then you can always just try to incorporate it into your drawing. Now that you've got this side done, you can go ahead and flip it over, do the other side, add to this side. It is up to you. Have a happy quarantine and stay safe.